Before we dive deeper into DevOps, let's touch on test-driven development. Test-driven development seems intuitive, but so often software and networks are built first and then tested later. In most projects today, requirements are documented, and those become the design for what is then delivered into the code base. At that point, the quality assurance team may be engaged to have test cases written and ready to execute. Meanwhile, the programmer or engineer has moved on to his next assignment. There's also the issue of what the requirement stated versus what the developer interpreted. For instance, if the requirement was simply to display the customer's name, that may not be enough. What name? First name? Last name? Full name? The developer may just interpret this without checking with the business analyst or the customer and display last name only. Test-driven development turns this paradigm around. The requirement is not coded first. It is turned into a test case first. The test is added to the test harness or automated test framework and executed. Naturally, it should fail this first time. From there, the developer knows how to pass the test. He will look at how the test case is structured to develop code that passes the test. All of this takes place within a short time frame, so it becomes a rapid development process. In the case of requirements, it is usually the tester who has the best feel for what functionality is needed in the network or the code base. He or she may work first with the customer or the network planner to ensure what is delivered is what is expected. With use of Agile, developer, tester, and customer are often joined together in the same sprint, so issue clarification is a faster effort. The sequence with the test-driven development is, first, understand the requirement. Ideally, development would be within a small Agile team where developer and tester are paired with a user, product, or planning person to ensure any clarification is obtained quickly. Next, add a test. A test is written quickly and added to a subset of test cases or perhaps a test harness. This test case may be executed manually, perhaps at first, but subsequent testing would be automated. Next, run the code. On first execution of the code, prior to the change, the pass should fail. The test should be reviewed for how it failed and why. This is important to the programmer or engineer to code or design in such a way to pass the test. Add code or change. At this point, the programmer or engineer has enough information to code the software or change the network in such a way to pass the test. He implements this change. Next, run the code and test again. This time, if the test passed, the code or change can be considered worthy of being a part of the branch that is returned to the trunk. In rapid iterative development under continuous integration, there should be frequent merges. If the test should fail, then the developer or the engineer continues to implement changes until such time as it passes. Finally, keep the test. At this point, the test case should have been automated. It should be part of a test harness and added to the set of test cases for future testing of changes. So briefly, this is the concept of test-driven development. It really is important to continuous integration and speeding along the verification of changes so that they can be merged into the code build or network implementation. It is also important to continuous delivery, where testing is scaled up and more robust, and which we will discuss in the next session.